Well, let's get into it. Mary, can we please have a one-word Dr. Seuss themed prompt, please?
Oh, sure. Tinsel.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
I think tinsel's got to be pretty down there on worst decorations, in my opinion.
No.
Just such a pain. They get everywhere.
I love tinsel.
I think now owning pets, though, like, I'm afraid they're going to chew. Like, we don't have tinsel on our tree, and I think they would chew it and die or something.
Well, I think all the tinsel would just attach to your cats. Hold on a second.
Exactly.
Hey! Welcome to the War on Christmas. The War on Christmas. Caught you off guard. But also, it's the Overtalking Podcast with your host, Ken and CJ. Say hi, CJ.
Remember that story about Cindy you-know-who? When her Christmas was stolen, she knew what to do. She killed him with kindness and surprisiest of surprises. That one simple kiss made his heart grow 3 sizes. They loved their Christmas, those folks down in town. But what if I said, that's not how it went down?
Oh, that's good foreshadowing because this week we watched dun 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 The Mean One. For those who don't know, this is the horror parody of The Grinch that came out last year.
Yeah, the description of the movie uses the word parody. So at least they're kind of in on the joke. Like they have to kind of know it's bad.
They say if I hear parody, I think of a comedy, but I will say that this is significantly less funny than Jack Frost last week.
This movie also sucks. Yes, correct. We got 2 stinkers to start us off this month. And I really loved them.
I think they're in different classes, but
yeah,
we'll
for
see.
you, yeah, I think.
For me, maybe, yeah.
But you know who's in above the highest class is our guest this week, sitting right next to me, Mary.
Hello.
Hi, Mary.
You like that
Ken.
segue?
That was nice. Thank you.
Glad to have you back.
Now, Mary, are you a tinsel person or a garland person?
Garland. You need something sturdy and thick. You want it to last the whole season.
Tinsel's just a pain to it's easy to put on, and then having to individually take it back off to put it away. It just gets everywhere.
No, you just throw it out with the tree.
Yeah, you just.
Or I guess if you have a fake tree, then you got to take it off.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you can't really compost tinsel.
I don't think you should be throwing it out with the tree, Ken.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like
it's like plastic
of something. Yeah.
It's probably not great.
No, but
I don't know. I love tinsel, but everyone around me hates it. We did tinsel like every other year growing up for a few years, and then my parents were like, "No more tinsel," and I'm like, "I love the tinsel," but yeah, no, Meg doesn't like tinsel. It's no more tinsel, but
no, you gotta stay true. You gotta maybe just one room is just all tinsel.
Just all in a room.
Yeah,
just one room. Hang it from the top of the door frame, around the doorknob, put it on the carpet.
We're just throwing it everywhere, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and just you got to go different colors. Start silver, transition to gold, green, red.
Are there colored tinsels?
Well, that just takes out the middleman of putting it on the tree and it ending up everywhere else. Then you just start by putting it everywhere else.
Oh, just have your own Christmas.
Okay.
Your own tree in the corner of a room.
Great. Yeah. That's not lonely at all. That's
the Charlie Brown tree just off to the side.
It starts lonely and turns spiteful. Everything you're not allowed to have is on the tree somehow.
I'm going to my Christmas room.
I get aesthetically it's shiny and it makes the lights reflect better.
Exactly.
I get theoretically it is a good decoration, but I think in practice and reality it sucks.
What about inflatable decorations on the lawn? Is that lazy or is it funny?
I think it's fun. I think any inflatable thing is pretty fun.
I don't think it's necessarily lazy. I think it's kind of, I don't know. I just like lights.
Gauche?
I think I just like lights. The gauche? I don't know.
Ken's a classic
What do you
man.
think, Mary?
I'm good. I just don't like when they're project images on the house.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Agreed.
Also, wouldn't that be annoying living in the house and having the light
it's
shine
like
through
Kramer having that light outside of his apartment window.
Kenny Rogers Roasters?
Literally, but it's something dumb like Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
Our neighbor across the street did that the first year we moved in here. And it was just like snowflakes or something, but like moving all over their house. And it would reflect off of their windows into our house.
Oh, that's
And it would,
yeah.
Yeah, it was annoying. And
That's
they
too
haven't
intense.
done it since, but yeah, just
Too much.
Okay.
I like watching the like Instagram videos of people having the lights that sync up to songs and stuff like that. But yeah, I would hate to be that person's like neighbor.
Yeah.
that would not be fun to like live in.
Oh my
that
God.
Yeah, your neighbor has
Seriously.
absolutely no chill. They programmed the lights to go off at like the same time as like the Trans-Siberian Orchestra of
Yeah.
some rock
Uh-huh.
Christmas song. I'm gonna go on a tangent.
Please.
Just can we go back to classic Christmas? Like, what are we doing with this? I just want lights, maybe mistletoe.
Yes.
That's fine. But we don't
Agreed.
have to do like I know people really love the 12-foot skeleton from Home Depot.
Yeah, I saw one of those like yesterday.
Where do you store it?
In their front lawn with a Santa hat on is what these people
Yeah, you
had.
just keep it out.
Yeah.
all
That's
year.
just yours. So it's like, garden gnomes, they're small, they're unassuming.
Mhm.
You're going to miss them. But that skeleton, like, oh, yeah, I lived in the house with the skeleton year round, and I was burdened by making it seasonal every 3 months. And if you have,
yeah.
like, where do you store it?
What are
You got to
not?
take it down at some point.
Well, I'm sure it collapses down a little bit, right? If you tuck its knees up into its chest, maybe
Put it in the fetal position.
put it in the fetal
It's
position.
like a human body still like this.
Put its head between its
Yeah.
legs. It's like
Oh,
gonna vomit
no.
it, kind of. Yeah.
That's so depressing.
Yeah, there's not. Yeah, you are right in that for like all of the summer, there's not too many holiday. You put like an American flag around it for 4th of July or
Right.
something. It's not really a
In the
lot of
springtime, you
holidays.
put some like bunny ears on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easter.
Have it hold a basket.
Yeah.
What if we did obscure holidays? Like growing up, when I talk to people who are not from Chicagoland area, or they are, but they're maybe not like that closely. I don't know. But like Kashmir Pulaski Day, put him in a uniform.
Make that the skeleton.
Yeah,
Like
why
him dressed up as that.
Yeah, like let's go niche. Why not? Did you guys celebrate
Interesting.
Kashmir Pulaski
I
Day? It's-
can't say that we did. No.
What? We used to
Not,
get it
not
off.
this year.
Oh, you
Not
skipped
this
this year? Oh, okay.
Yeah, not this year.
Wasn't feeling
Sorry.
it.
I was a little busy. Yeah.
Nah, that's fine. You
Next year for sure.
Yeah,
Another
Ken,
year, yeah.
you never miss a year. That's so unlike you.
Yeah.
You
I
celebrate
know,
it
I
all the
know.
time.
I feel like I'm letting everyone down.
Yeah. It's
Well,
super common.
let's move on because I really felt like the mean one when I didn't do it this year.
Oh.
It was a letdown.
But we're going to talk about the mean one who is basically knockoff the Grinch. I mean, it is
No,
the Grinch.
can't say that word. Not in this
It's
movie.
the Grunch.
That's protected IP.
The Gronk.
They avoid it at all
Finch.
costs.
I
Yeah,
know,
God.
yeah.
All right, we got to talk about that when we go back.
All right. We'll be right back.
Poor girl. Her mother was killed in mind snap.
Did you ever find the Christmas killer?
Never got a reliable description of the man.
He's out there. What if the Christmas killer is back?
This town cannot go through another Christmas killer thing. Not again.
Us folks down in Newville, we liked Christmas a lot. But that thing that lives just north of Newville does not.
What is it?
Mean one.
And we're back on the Overtalking Podcast with returning guest Mary, and we're talking about the mean one, which is the Grinch, basically.
No, it's the mean one. Or the
Hold
green
on.
one.
Or the Gronk.
Hold on. Mary, we're going to put 30 seconds on the clock for you to describe for someone who's not yet seen the mean one, which is probably a lot of people, what
Yeah,
it's all
not
about.
yet. People are clamoring to see it. All right, ready, go.
Cindy, not Luhu, grows
You
up
know
with
who.
a traumatized past. Her mom's murdered by a creature. She leaves town 20 years later, comes back to confront her past. Town does not celebrate Christmas. She is trying to bring justice to her dead mother. And
10 seconds.
the truth comes out after some investigation. She's made to be crazy, but
5,
she knows the truth
4.
is out there.
3, 2, 1. This is the X-Files. The
Okay.
truth is out there.
Truth is out there.
The truth is out there.
I
And the
don't know,
truth is
where do we
it's
start
the
with
Grinch.
this? The Gronk is a cryptid.
Hold on. Before we dive in, Mary, I got to ask, why did you choose this movie?
So I wanted to ask you how it got into the rotation. How did
so
you know
yeah,
this was the thing? First of all, I'm turning it back to you.
Okay, so yeah, like we mentioned last week, we have a running list for people to choose from for this War on Christmas season. The War on Christmas. Every time?
Every time.
Great. All right. And yeah, I updated it and I put on some just random stuff I heard of, which one of them was the mean one. I'm very up on the horror news, so I'm plugged in. I hear about all this random crap, and I was like, well, I guess if I'm ever going to watch it, it would be for this. So I threw it on there. I didn't think anyone would ever choose it. And then you came along and you chose the mean one. Was just reading through the list your first introduction to this?
Absolutely. I didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah.
I saw so many on there that I was like, oh, they're like, okay, yeah, that could be interesting. I don't know. The word interesting is used to like not imply that something's negative, but there's a small implication that something's negative.
It's a nice way of saying something's bad. Oh, that your show was interesting.
Oh, it was interesting. Oh, your wedding choice was interesting.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, you bought a house? How interesting. It's like, let me live. It's
Yeah.
okay. I saw the trailer for it and I was like, I can't choose anything else. It
That's-
has to be this.
That was the letdown. Like, I also had not watched the trailer until you chose it, and I was like, oh yeah, what is this? And I was like, oh, this looks great. Like, it's going to be so bad that it'll be enjoyable and it'll be fun. And then it was none of those things.
You didn't have any fun watching this?
There was a couple fun moments, but they were few and far between, I would say.
before we exclusively talk about the mean one, did you have more fun watching Jack Frost than you did this?
God, I don't think so. I did not enjoy
come
that
on.
one as much as
Aw.
Mary,
No.
highly recommend Jack Frost.
you.
if
The
you like to this
1997
at
one,
all.
not the Michael
Yeah.
Keaton one, not the
Not
Dead
the
Dad one.
one.
Yeah, fuck that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's dive in. So, yeah, this is a horror rendition of the Grinch.
The green one.
The
Gronk.
green one. And that's pretty much all you need to know. It's live action. There's someone who is literally doing Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
Trying
but
so
without
hard to
Can we
be Jim
speaking.
Carrey.
Can we,
Yeah.
real quick, can we jump into that? They chose specifically Jim Carrey's rendition
Right.
because, so there's got to be some kernel of like this, his portrayal of the Grinch is super creepy. The long furry like hands and then like the crawling across the floor.
Yeah.
And I'm good with that. I actually don't really love Jim Carrey.
Oh, okay.
I won't go into a tangent on Jim Carrey, but it's just so funny that they were like, yeah, no, this Dr. Seuss book that's been out forever, right? We all know the story. We're going to go with Jim Carrey's portrayal of it.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
so specific.
Yeah. I wonder if
Yeah.
If
I don't know
that's-
why.
what more people recognize now, it being out for so long, that now
I
people's
guess, I mean-
idea of the Grinch is
I
Jim
guess.
Carrey.
It's the only live action Grinch. So, I mean, it's kind of the only thing they have to go off of.
The
But for
yeah.
doing like the finger like
Yeah.
waving thing with the long furry fingers and stuff like that. Oh, and putting his hands outside in on his
Yeah.
hips.
Yeah.
pose.
That's full on. But I guess he did that actually in the cartoon too, didn't he?
Yeah.
He stands like that.
Yeah.
So maybe that just is the Grinch. Like
The green one.
maybe have my prejudice of or
Implicit bias
That's not
of the
right-
Grinch.
Yeah. But maybe I'm just seeing Jim Carrey, but Jim Carrey was doing all of the things that are in the cartoon and the book. So maybe that's it. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sure we're going to jump around a ton because it's hard not to, but just because you said Dr. Seuss, I finished watching this today,
Okay.
but it took me a few hours to realize that there is a character in the movie who is referred to as Doc, and then he specifies like his name is Zeus, like the Greek god. And it took me hours later to be like, oh, Dr.
I mean,
Seuss.
He literally says
He goes,
Dr.
"Dr.
Zeus in
Zeus."
the movie.
I
Yeah.
just heard Doc Zeus. I was on IMDb and then seeing it written down as Doc Zeus. I was like, oh.
So you didn't have any fun with this movie. Like not serious fun. Like it was so
Not a
it was
single
silly. It was
second of
really
fun.
silly.
I was expecting it to be maybe more silly, or like the trailer made it seem like the main part of the movie was going to be them fighting the creature, and that's just the last like 10 minutes of the movie.
Oh yeah.
And it took over an hour of the movie to like lead up to that point. I was like, this is too long for
Now,
to get to this
there
point.
were deaths, throughout that
Yes.
hour.
Oh yeah, the kill
leading
count.
up. It's just the final, showdown wasn't until the last half hour.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the gore?
I mean, it was not well done, but it was fun.
It was so fun, and but I will admit there were times where I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I really he
Yeah.
stepped on someone's face, I guess, and I was like, I guess like it kind of looks like you just stepped on like a plastic bowl from Five Below or something. I don't know.
That was one of the notes I wrote down was that specific kill. He's in a restaurant and he's killing all these people dressed as Santa because he kills everything that has holiday cheer.
Yep.
And
yeah, that's his whole thing. He kills anything that has any holiday.
yeah, which is
Santa,
why they don't
Christmas,
celebrate it in the
anything.
town.
Yeah.
This woman is on the ground, like trying to crawl away, and it pans up, and he basically just does a little hop and then lands on her skull, and we're led to believe that like he just impales her skull and the brains and goo go everywhere. And this dude
Yeah.
barely jumps. He just does a little, "Hup," and then like that's enough force to explode her skull.
Every single one of the kills that he does implies that he is the strongest and heaviest creature in the world.
Because he's a cryptid.
Yeah.
He's like Bigfoot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like that interpretation that he's a cryptid. Huh.
He does live in like the hills. They say,
Yeah.
oh, what is that? A picture of like Sasquatch at one point?
Right? They
get a
catch
blurry
like a
Oh
blurry
my
photo of
God.
him.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Huh.
Imagine, okay, so we are going to jump. Should I not? I'll stop. Wait, are we good? Can I
Just
jump?
jump around.
Okay, I'll
This-
jump. I'll
there's-
jump. Okay.
There's barely a
There's
plot.
so much-
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not like the little bit of sprinkle of anti-Semitism.
Yes.
That was unfortunate. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, what the
This
fuck?
this deputy sheriff is new in town, and twice within I think 3 minutes of each other, I like looked at the timestamp. One, he mentions he's Jewish, and then 3 minutes later in the movie, to the same character, mentions that he's Jewish again. Just like, and I was like, okay, surely this is the rule of threes. The third time, it's going to be like a joke, or it's going to pay off later in the movie. Nope, just
No.
nothing does.
Nope. He's just got
That's-
matzo ball soup.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
That's
that's it.
nothing to the movie at all. They don't call it back later or anything. Like just
No.
a weird thing to do.
It-
Did
Yeah, I don't
not
know.
care for
Was
it.
there anything
Didn't care
like
for it.
specific? I didn't catch it, but like, was there anything specifically offensive, or was it just like
No.
he just mentions that he's Jewish? a
Yeah,
bunch?
it wasn't offensive.
He,
it was
he
just
made
like
a reference to his nose, and I was like,
Yes,
what are you
that-
talking
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
about?
that's right.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was
Yeah.
horrible.
which then there was like I think a nod to the noses in Dr. Seuss, like in Whoville, how they all have those noses, because
Oh.
he says like, "Oh, I fit right in here in
Newville."
Newville." It's not Whoville.
Yeah.
That's
Newville.
copyright.
That was in my notes.
It's
Newville,
Newville.
not Whoville.
There's just so much that like obviously it's a parody.
Yeah.
But like the logic of this universe doesn't make any sense to me because we find out that the sheriff and the mayor are in cahoots
Yeah.
to essentially feed the cryptid, right?
Yeah.
They're like, we'll send hikers, and it's like, oh, you own the IP address, which like the whole like their operating system was super weird to look at for their police files, whatever.
Yeah. I love
Um,
any computer scenes in movies.
But they don't say like why,
Yeah.
because he didn't
Yeah.
eat any of the people he murdered in the movie that we watched. But there's like evidence of like wallets
Yeah.
and bodies. But
Right.
what is they're not really feeding him?
Yeah, it seems
At
like
no
he is
point-
just killing for.
He just
He just has
Just
like an
killing
insatiable
his
bloodlust.
His bloodlust.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, the sheriff and the mayor are in on it to, they think, like, protect the town. They've basically banned all Christmas decorations to try to not draw him in. Because they're like, we just want a peaceful town. It's like, then you should kill the creature in the mountains that's terrifying this city.
Right.
Like, and
Or like
Maybe you hunt him
tranquilize it
down. Yeah.
and fucking send it to some scientists to study.
yeah.
How
You're
did
right.
it get
It's obviously
this?
super strong.
It's so strong.
Yeah. Give it to the military.
Right.
They like that shit. There then was a lot of, there's sort of a good amount of shoehorning into like, it's established like decorations are how it like draws in on you. It detects Christmas decorations and is there instantly to kill whoever has any sort of light or decoration. And in one of the scenes, we see a chef in a restaurant on the phone, angry because he got his order wrong. And he says, "I ordered bell peppers, not jingle bells." Like, that's not
Easy
even
mistake.
Cool. That's
Easy
so
mistake.
bad.
Obviously, the same supplier would have both, and I could see how they would mix
Obviously.
those boxes up.
But then,
God.
but do you see, like, you can't break the rules in your own world because, like, why would they have jingle bells?
Yeah.
Why would they
be
have
sent?
And also,
yeah.
like, it's a small box. How many bell peppers did you order? 2? 2?
Yeah, really.
And it's not big enough to fit that man's head.
Yeah. And then
So,
that guy gets
also, I mean, I have a couple of issues with just how well made this movie is in general. It's obviously midsummer in LA. For
no
most of this
snow.
movie, except for a couple of shots of some mountains somewhere that have like a little bit of snow on it. But everywhere else, there's like flowers in windows, and obviously not December anywhere.
Yeah. Let alone
Really
like
weird.
a mountain town.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Also, do you guys know what Foley work is?
Yeah, the like sound effects and stuff.
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
I feel like either it was done really poorly in this movie or like they just ran out of budget for it. But
Yeah.
there were
Yeah.
periods of like just complete silence when there should have been some background noise. Or even early on in the movie, the dad, when he's still alive, and Cindy are pulled over by the deputy, and he rolls down the window. You don't hear it. It's just complete silence. It's so awkward and weird. And it really just kind of set the tone for, okay, this is the kind of bullshit that this movie's going to give
Oh
me
my
for the
God,
rest
you're
of the
so
time.
right, Ken.
I had a thought. I was like, is my version like the sound just got mixed
I was
bad,
afraid
or
of
like
that
they
too.
made a mistake or something? Yeah, because
Damn.
in all of the big like fighting murder scenes, the sound was like all over the place, and they kept flipping back and forth between the dark, moody cinematography back to like the normal one. Is like, this is too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, I didn't like the dark filters over
Yeah.
everything. That was weird. I also didn't like, if you heard the sound of a gun, the sound that the gun made didn't match what was being shot. Like, it was like a rifle, and she had a little handgun. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going on? Not that I know anything about guns, but like, I watch enough stupid TV to know a little bit.
Other movies.
Can you
Right.
mention the dad? Can we all agree that that man was acting his heart out?
Yes.
God. Oh my God.
This
Very over
was
the
his
top.
moment.
Yeah.
This was his time to shine.
The most
and he was
high
just
energy
so-
dad.
I feel like that man always wanted to have children, but was completely infertile or never got married. And so when he was put into this movie, where he is the now single father of this, what's supposed to be a 20-something woman, but who looks like late 30s, he goes way over the top for this decorating scene.
Yeah.
And oh my God, he's singing some song after they're done decorating the tree. And it's like, not any normal Christmas song, probably because they didn't
No.
have the rights to it, but
Yeah.
it was just so weird and awkward. And oh my God.
It was terrifying. I was like, there's no one on earth who has this much passion
Yeah.
to
This
do
much
this
energy.
kind of acting. And the fact that he was just like, you're still down, is like, bro, that was your wife that got murked. Like, yeah, she's down. Why aren't you? Like,
Yeah,
why did you
right.
agree to go back? I'd be like, no, I'm not going back to where my wife got literally nailed in the head.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that they set it up as like, well, my therapist says I need to return the house to like go through this trauma. It's like, I don't think that's what they would say
no.
to do.
That's that level of exposure therapy is like my. Remember that TV show when they had like phobias and they were like trying to get
Oh,
people
yeah.
to face their fears? Ken, do you know what I'm talking about?
Dr.
It's like,
Phil. Yeah.
The fear of just seeing him in person.
truly. Yeah, but I like
Being in his
distinctly
presence.
remember this one person was terrified of germs, like crazy germaphobe. And the therapist, like in terms of exposure therapy, made her open a porta potty door and then touch the seat with her finger.
I don't want to do that. I don't think
No.
I'm that
Come
big of a
on.
That's
germaphobe.
so extreme.
Yeah. What the hell?
And then they like put someone who's afraid of heights on a roller coaster. I'm like, you want them to shit themselves?
I
Like,
don't
what
think
is
that's
that?
how
God.
you're supposed to do that. I'm not a
There's no wonder that was taken
professional,
off
but
the air. That is irresponsible.
Oh my
I think
God.
you maybe like work them up to it, not just like kick them into a porta potty and be like, deal with it.
Right.
No,
But
God,
that's not good TV, CJ.
no, it's not. And there's so much about this movie that I could just like, I don't know. I'm all over the place. Someone else take the lead.
We have to talk about the bar scene, which we teased before going to break.
100%.
So
Okay.
they cannot use the word Grinch in this movie. They have to avoid it at all costs. That's why they flat out say, one of the characters has to say, I just call him the mean one.
Yeah. Oh, that bar scene you're talking about.
Or, well,
yeah, I wasn't sure which one.
so
There's a couple of bar scenes.
yeah,
I want to talk about that one too.
because there's only a few set pieces in this movie. So Doc Zeus is giving the woman the rundown of like, oh no, I believe you that there's a creature, even though nobody else does. Like, I've seen him, and here's the deal. And so they're about to say the word the Grinch, but the bartender, who we don't see, immediately comes into frame and says,
Finch! Order from Mike Finch!
Mike Finch.
okay, again,
Yeah.
we're at a bar. They're ordering alcohol. You don't have
Right.
it. They don't shout
She has-
your order.
She has a tray of shots, like two or three
Yeah,
shots.
two
in front of
shot
her.
glasses. It says order for Finch. If you're ordering
That is
two
not
shots, you
what
don't
happens.
then walk away
That's
and
not
go
how a
back
bar
to your
works.
table.
No.
I've never been at a bar like that.
They're like,
Also-
oh, we'll
It
call your
doesn't
name
take
when
more
your
than
order's ready.
5 seconds to pour two shots.
Yeah.
Like you don't
At this
need to
empty
put
bar.
your order in. Yes.
Or the fact that they just he had a handle of liquor with him
Yes,
at the
yeah.
bar.
And they
I was
just
like,
let him
that's
be
just
like-
not a thing.
Yeah. Oh, you can pour your
do
own. We
it.
trust you. Just tell us how much you did at the end, and then we'll charge you for that.
Oh my God.
But that's not even the worst part. It's the fact that then again he tries to say the word Grinch, but then she does it again.
Yes.
And it's so loud.
Elusive. He's smart. He's so damn smart. He's a mean one, that Mr. Finch! Last call for Mike Finch!
It's so loud and awful.
Order for Finch!
Oh my God.
That scene also stuck in my head just because I was looking at the background actors for whatever reason, and they're playing pool or like supposed to be behind them, and they're just walking around the pool table. Looks like he's gonna take a shot. No, that's not it. That's not the shot. And that's the whole time. The balls never move.
Because it would mess
He's
with the
just
excellent Foley work that they've put in. The
Yeah,
sound of the
exactly.
balls clacking would be too much of
Right.
a disruption.
God.
Okay, and then I did, as I alluded to when we started, you do have a narrator come on as the sort of like Dr. Seuss narration that rhymes.
Yeah.
So the other one that I wrote down towards the end of the movie is when they're actually fighting Finch,
The Gronk.
the Gronk, the cryptid, the green one. The narrator comes on as they're like, have firearms against this creature and says,
with a gleam in his eye and a trigger finger that itched. The hunter proclaimed,
Merry Christmas, you green bitch!
I liked that part.
I love it. Well, even leading up to that part too, we skipped over maybe my favorite part of the movie, which is the training montage.
The training montage.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Yes.
Yes.
Which it's, I would say, sort of props to the costume department, because up until that point, she just looks like a mild-mannered woman just trying to make it in the world. And then the trainer montage, you're like, oh, holy shit, this person is jacked. This is a full-on.
Yeah.
And then I
She's
looked it up.
ripped,
She is a
folks.
stunt woman. That's what she does as a
Yes.
career.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
that tracks, because this person could kick all of these people's asses.
She's literally doing chin-ups on the like support beam of the A-frame that they live in.
Yeah. It's just
Right.
like, yeah, training montage always rule. It was great.
Like she I'm sorry, she's training like she's gonna take on 5 cryptids.
Yeah.
She's like, and then she like booby trapped her house, and her vest had like little ornaments. She had time to get ripped. She had time to wrap a gun in wrapping paper.
Yeah. Like candy cane decoration.
There was a part in the fight scene where she like opens the lid to a present to pull out a gun. I'm like, why'd you do that? Why are you making obstacles for yourself to get to the
Yeah.
weapons?
You don't really need to hide them if he's coming to you in the house.
Yeah.
Then
Right.
you could just have them out.
Oh my God. And like, I do want to go back to the bar scene. But there was a part where Doc Zeus like opens his car door and just like 7 empty bottles that look perfectly clean. Like someone took soap and water and they cleaned them out. And they're just like
Not a
rattling
drop
around
in
his
them.
feet. So fucked up. And then like leading up to it, just like all the booby traps, like the bear
Bear trap.
bear
right?
trap,
Yeah.
the shotgun, like there was a sniper.
Yeah. Doc Zeus.
So they we're banning Christmas everything. However, you can get a gun everywhere apparently, and
Yes.
in
Yeah.
less than a week.
And
Less than a week.
And I still don't know with the booby traps too. At one point, what looks to be just kind of like lighting a Christmas tree branch on fire, and then that acts as a fuse, and something explodes. But I don't know what.
know.
It's not put
Yeah.
together very well.
And she has
All right,
ornaments
we
that
have to-
explode. Yeah.
We have to move on soon. Everyone gets one more thing to talk about. CJ,
Oh
go.
my gosh.
I think that's honestly all I've written down. But I mean,
Okay.
I could comment on just about any scene in this movie.
Mary, do you got anything?
Yes, but it's
bar
okay. No, we talked at length at the bar scene. Okay, just one thing.
Go for it. Yeah.
The person got locked in the walk-in.
Oh yeah, that doesn't happen
yeah.
anymore.
And
She
then
got locked in a freezer.
She got locked in a freezer, which clearly had a handle.
Yeah, you could
and then
see
it panned over later, and she's like knocking on the window. I'm like, oh yes, there's always windows in the lock. Like what?
Install a
course.
window for a walk-in
That's
freezer.
stupid. All right, I'm done. Sorry.
Then it
Ken.
opens on its own, just somehow.
Right.
Then she gets out. Yeah.
And then the last thing we got to talk about how the green one dies at the end.
Jesus. Yeah.
Would you kiss him on the cheek?
She forgave him. She
forgave him.
I don't
'cause
understand the ending.
He kept a trophy,
The
basically.
necklace that she gives
A
him.
trophy?
Yeah.
Kill trophy. I still don't understand that.
So the logic of the movie is confusing here too, because he didn't mean to kill her mother.
Right.
So the trauma of him he was acting, well, he did break in,
Yeah.
but in self-defense
Yeah.
he murdered this woman,
Accidentally.
and it caused him to go down this psychosis where he just was
he gets called a monster.
he gets called a monster. He's like, guess I am, and he's just
Yeah.
like insatiable bloodlust, like right
yeah.
away.
His eyes turn red. We see
Yeah.
that after being
Yeah.
called a monster, and then like, oh, I guess I'll just kill everybody for the rest of my life now.
Yeah,
Like what?
Checks
for
out.
20 years.
Yeah, but it's never explained why he was in the house. So like, I guess this is the real life Grinch.
I thought of one more thing.
Okay.
When she's having the gross little like shower like daydream like dream, like the shower dream, and it's just like, no, I don't want to see any of this. I wanted the Grinch to stab them both. I was like, I'm
in real
good.
life.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm done.
We got to get back to the actual Grinch's death, though, because when she forgives the Grinch,
Yes.
his heart grows 3 sizes and implodes.
It explodes.
Explodes, and that's how
Like
he dies.
hits the wall behind him, right?
Yeah, so much so
Jesus.
that he's like, oh no, I have to protect her from this explosion. As if he's going to jump on a grenade, he flops over so that his chest is touching the floor, and then fully like gets electrocuted, like thumps when it explodes, and blood splatters out the back of his chest.
So then does his
Oh, that was
species
good.
know? Does his species know like that's what happens?
I guess, yeah, that's gonna happen, and that he's gonna die.
So there's got to be more of him, because like how else would you know? Like if you grow up on Earth as the only one of your kind,
Yeah.
how would you know that your heart could do that?
Yeah, that it will
Right.
literally explode outside of your chest.
The other problem I have, too, is at the very beginning of the movie, they give like this alternate reality that
Yeah.
CJ, you alluded to, that, well, if the Cindy you-know-who had just said or like kissed him on the cheek or whatever at the beginning of the movie, then everything would have been fine. But maybe the exact same thing would have happened then.
But that's
like,
if we're led to believe that that's what happens when he's being forgiven,
right.
then if she did kiss him and his heart grew 3 times, that would kill him. She would
Right.
give him
They do
a kiss,
allude-
his heart would grow and it would explode. And then
Right.
he would die at her feet.
Right.
As
and
a
she would
child.
still be totally
Traumatized.
Yes, you're
fucked
right.
up. Yeah.
They do allude at the end where they're like, in an alternate universe, this would be like a happy Christmas time,
Yeah.
or whatever. I'm like, oh.
Oh, and then at the very end, they start singing Yahoo Dore.
Yahoo
Yeah.
Dore.
Yahoo Dore?
Yahoo
Did
Dore.
they reference that earlier in the movie, or did they just say that for no fucking
They
reason?
just say it for no reason.
Okay,
But it's
great.
Yahoo Doris. But I'm like, why would you know? Why would either of you who left this town 20 years ago and you who just new to this town,
Yeah.
Yahoo Dore.
Right.
Yeah. That's a thing we all say here.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah.
Yahoo Dore.
Okay.
Credits.
All right. Now we got to move on to trivia. So it's time for. Hey, did you know that? It's trivia time. For those who don't know, this is the part where we pit our guests and CJ head to head to see who knows the most about what we watched. Mary, CJ, are you two ready?
Ready.
Eh.
First question. This is a weirdly formatted question, so just go with it. It's multiple choice. This is the third Dr. Seuss production not to be produced by Illumination or distributed by Universal Pictures. There wasn't a lot of trivia for this movie, so this is the way I have to
okay.
phrase these questions.
This is-
What are the other two Dr. Seuss productions not to be produced by Illumination or distributed by Universal Pictures? Is it A, The Grinch, Jim Carrey one, B, Horton Hears a Who, C, Green Eggs and Ham, or D, Cat in the Hat?
Ooh.
Oh, I'm gonna go Cat in the Hat.
B. Horton.
Horton is one of the answers.
Oh, we're
Good
supposed
point.
to pick two.
Do you want to guess what the other one is? I mean, I guess we've whittled it down to two, so I'll just tell you. It's the Green Eggs and Ham was the other one.
Ah.
Okay. Is that a live action one or is that the cartoon one?
I don't know what that is, honestly.
Yeah.
The Cat in the Hat
it must
movie's
be-
scary.
Yeah, that one was weird.
It's
Yeah, it is.
unsettling.
Yeah, I agree.
It'd be easy to make that into a horror movie.
Yeah. He puts bodies in the hat after he kills them and they just like live they disappear.
This is totally off topic, but I saw an Instagram post of someone who's listing a bunch of Christmas horror movies. And it's like stuff you would expect, like Black Christmas, and Jack Frost was on there. And then they also have like the Polar Express.
Because his like face is horrified.
Just because it's like, I don't know why. I think it's just funny because it's horrific. I don't know.
That's great.
Anyway, that's it. Next question. Name any Dr. Seuss references from this movie outside of The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Oh, whoa.
Good luck. I
Yeah.
only have 3 on this list.
Oh.
I have, yeah, I can't think of a
No?
single one.
You guys have, one has already been said this episode.
Oh, Cat in the Hat.
No. All right.
Horton.
Well, I mean, I kind of, that's right, but do you know why it's Horton Hears a Who?
No, not at all.
All right.
So I don't.
That's not the
don't
one I
give
was
me the
referring
point.
to. I would have accepted Dr. Zeus, but
Oh, yeah. Doc
yeah.
Zeus.
Anyway,
Oh.
Doc Zeus. Apparently, one of the restaurants, I don't know what restaurant, was named Horton's.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Horton Hears a Who.
It was the guy who got the jingle bells, not bell peppers.
so stupid.
And then there is a character who drinks from a bottle named Geisels, and Dr. Seuss's real name is Theodore Seuss Geisel.
Yeah, would have never gotten that.
Wouldn't have known that either. Yeah. Next question. CJ already ruined this one, but it's still fun. The lead Cindy, played by Crystal Martin, primarily does what other kind of work in Hollywood?
she's
And
a
Stunt work.
Yeah.
She's almost exclusively a stunt woman.
Yeah.
That checks out.
Yep.
But that leads to my next question. Which of the following people has she stunt-doubled for? And the multiple choice. Is it A, Bella Thorne, B, Ronda Rousey, C, Brie Larson, or D, Scarlett Johansson?
Ronda Rousey, but that's interesting that she would stunt double for a UFC fighter. But they look really similar.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying that. Because I thought that
Okay.
while watching the movie. I was like, this person looks a lot like Ronda Rousey.
I will admit I also thought that while watching the movie. I was like,
Me too.
yeah.
Yeah, go with her. And then it's multiple choice, right? So Brie Larson was the other?
You're choosing Brie Larson?
Oh, I'm sorry. My dumb ass thought you were saying there are multiple answers. No.
All right. I will let you know there are multiple answers on this.
Oh,
So
okay.
why don't you each pick 2?
Oh.
I was actually going to pick, Brie Larson would have been my second guess.
Okay.
Are those 2 right?
Well, you both get a point for Ronda Rousey.
Okay.
Brie Larson is not correct, although she has done like Disney stage plays as Captain Marvel, so that's something.
Okay.
But she stunt double for Bella Thorne and something. How are we doing on points?
I'm up 2-1.
Okay. We'll just do a normal one for this one. No, we'll make it maybe a equalizer. What is the Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter score in percentage? Closest without going over. For those that don't know, this is the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. CJ, since you're in the lead, you will go first.
Oof. Critic score for this one. Even knowing it's a parody, it's still really rough. I feel like they could have made more jokes or made it more fun than they did. So probably still like 18% or something like that.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Mary?
I don't know.
Closest without going over is the rules. Just so
Okay.
you know.
Yeah. 32%.
All right. Well,
God's shaking his head.
that's definitely not correct. Both of you are over.
Wow.
I
What?
will say. The Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter score is 17%. So it seems like
Wow.
we're very, very close. But that makes you our winner. Yeah, 17%. Pretty low.
Pretty bad.
But like,
Bad.
I'm sorry. Did we think it was going to be good?
No.
Okay,
Well,
that's why
okay,
I'm like, I
so-
had fun with it. It was a horrible movie, but
Yeah.
it was fun.
Just for fun, what do you guys think the audience score was?
Maybe the audience liked it more because it is a parody. So maybe like 26. I think it's
Okay.
still bad, but
What do you think, Mary?
32%. Feeling good about
Sticking with it.
32.
49%.
Wow.
okay, too high in my
So
opinion.
that
That's
means
too high.
half
I agree.
The people actually enjoyed watching this movie.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that.
Which
I don't agree
parts?
with that either.
Yeah, exactly. Which parts did you enjoy? And they did this stupid thing in fight scenes where they like cut away before every punch like actually makes contact. Which
Yeah.
is so annoying. That was in like the first Born Identity movie. We've moved past that. Just have
Like, if everyone in this movie is a stunt person, or
Yeah.
maybe I'm just assuming
Take a
that.
punch.
Why aren't they showing
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this kind of stuff? Why weren't there more stunts in this movie?
yeah.
They were saving it for her chin-ups.
Yeah, have her drive a motorcycle.
On fire.
Sure. Yeah.
I read she has her M1 license, which barely is the motorcycle license. Had to Google what that was.
Is the F1
Nice.
license for fast cars then?
Yeah, you get to compete. And
I go fast.
Yeah.
the F stands for fast.
I could keep talking about this movie, but we really need to kill it.
Yeah,
like,
there's no saving
There's
grace.
no
We do.
point to it.
Well, it's time for our ratings then. Mary, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate the mean one for you?
The Gronk gets a 4 out of 10.
A
because
4, okay.
Wow.
It was just like fun to laugh at, and I think that the point of the movie was to be entertaining, and I was entertained.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay. For me, I keep comparing it to Jack Frost because both are pretty low budget, bad horror movies.
Yeah.
But I had a lot more fun watching Jack Frost, and I did not really laugh at any part of this movie as opposed to Jack Frost, where I feel like I kind of got the humor. This was just dark, and I don't know. It's supposed to be a parody, but like, come on. I feel like they say that just because they didn't have the rights. Like, I feel like that's the only
100%.
Yeah.
reason why they're saying parody.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, a 2 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah.
It's is not a good movie
No,
for me.
for anyone.
All right, CJ.
For me. Yeah. So I gave Jack Frost a 2. I'm trying to think if I enjoyed this any more or less than that. I don't think so. I think I'll be in the hand-holding club with Ken and give this a 2 as well. This is pretty...
Okay.
The trailer really fooled me. I really thought I was going to, like, I can get on board with bad movies and have a good time with them because they're bad. Like, knowing that going into it does help. But this, like, I don't know. I felt like they didn't have fun with it. Like, they actually tried to
Right.
make
A serious
a kind
movie.
of serious movie,
Yeah.
and they
Right,
failed
right.
at it. And so now it's just a bad movie, and there's not really
Right.
any fun parts. They could have had those, like, cheesy one-liners and jokes and stuff. But even those attempts were, like, so far-fetched and bad.
Yeah.
Can I piggyback off of that a little bit?
Yeah.
Because you're absolutely right. I feel like they didn't have fun with it. I feel like they tried to in the script a little bit, like the training montage leading up to
That was fun.
the next day. That was fun. And then the next day, the Ronda Rousey lookalike is in the store, and she is like buying a bunch of stuff like rope and whatever to trap and kill the Grinch. But she plays it off like just like every other scene. Like she should be acting crazy and manic at that point.
Yeah.
She's not.
Yes.
She's just being baseline Cindy, and it's so disappointing.
The deputy sort of asks because she's in like a chipper mood, and he's like, hey, like, what's up? And she's like, I've decided I'm going to kill him. So everything's good now. I'm smiling and happy now. I was like, what? No, that's not that's not how you should be acting.
You should
like,
be playing that manic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I don't know what it is about these kinds of like low budget films. They love saying the word bitch a lot. Oh my God. They just like throw it around. I'm like, this is hilarious that you think this is funny.
Yeah.
Like,
you green bitch.
yeah, everything. And like when the mall Santas that were in a party bus coming from God knows where at like
SantaCon.
1 PM, SantaCon.
Oh my
And
God.
like when they're
The
like
worst.
harassing
The worst
the
part of the movie.
waitress
Yeah.
and using the B word a bunch, and I was just like,
Yeah, that was
That whole scene
all right, okay.
is filler.
It's so
That
gratuitous.
has no ties to any other part of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, really quick. The bus driver that is busing these waits outside, and as they're all getting murdered, they cut to him to be like, "Oh, isn't it funny that he doesn't know they're all getting killed inside?" And he's on his phone and out loud to himself takes like 30 seconds to be like, "Should I swipe right or should I swipe left? I'm gonna swipe left." And then like swipes with his. It's like, oh God.
Like, is that a joke?
Yeah.
Like, it's delivered so
so bad.
slow and bad.
They
I
need
don't
more
know.
passion, like the guy who was the dad.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, we
They
need
need
more
dad
of a
energy.
dad.
I
I
don't know.
wish Dad hadn't been killed. If he
I-
did,
Yeah, he
then
was the
all
best
way
part.
throughout this
No,
movie.
I'm glad he died. He made me uneasy. Like he was too manic. It's too much.
He was a bit much. All right, we've spent way too much time talking about this movie.
Yeah, it doesn't deserve this
Mary,
much.
thank you for joining us. Do you have anything you want to
also
plug or
sorry.
any words of wisdom? Yeah. Sorry for
Oh
putting
my
this on
God.
the list in
You
the
know
first
what?
place.
Only thing I have like 2 things to plug. I've been watching the newest Fargo season with my husband Sam, and
Friend of the show?
well, perhaps it's freaking great. They always have like a supernatural element every season, and literally while we were watching the last episode we saw, I was like, wonder when what the supernatural element was, and then it immediately showed up, and I was like, holy shit! So it's great and
Ooh,
highly recommend.
Okay.
Okay.
We currently steal it from the internet, so I don't know where you can stream it.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, this movie was horrible. So fun.
Interesting reaction. Horrible, but so
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you once again for joining us. CJ, what do we have to plug at the end here?
You can follow us on all the things at Overtalking Pod. We are on Instagram. We're on the Facebooks. We're on the TikToks. We're on all the things. Call or text us at USACat1591. Email us like Actor Wayne Knight did at overtalkingpod@gmail.com.
Oh no, they're here.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, it's the Overtalking Overlords, although they are in full-on Grinch outfits now.
No.
I don't know.
They're in the green one outfits. We can't afford that.
Okay. I mean, we're not making money off of this. I think it's okay.
Exactly.
But yeah, they're doing the full Jim Carrey thing. I don't know. But they're here to remind you, if you like the show, please go on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and rate. At least that. 5 stars. I'll say rate us 5 stars specifically.
yeah.
That helps people find the podcast and helps us out immensely. And if you leave a review, we remember to check it ever, and we'll read it on the podcast. So that's fun.
Yeah, we remember maybe once a month or so.
Yeah. And then we spend no money in advertising. So if you'd like to please tell a friend and spread the word. We would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And they're gone. And as you always say at the end of every single episode,
Merry Christmas, you green bitch.
bye.
Bye.
This episode of the Overtalking Podcast was produced by Ken and CJ, edited by CJ. This week's special guest was Mary. Music by Justin Peters. Logo by Nate Richards. Check out Nate's work on Instagram at Nate Richards Designs.